Oh my gosh. Now, from my experience working on Star Trek Voyager, the show I worked on, we used a lot of that fake. Thank you. Thank you. We used a lot of that fake smoke, you know. And you guys had a lot of that fake smoke too.
We had a lot of real smoke too.
Oh yeah.
Nothing fake about that smoke.
Those were the old days, dude.
Okay, sorry. Good Lord. Okay, all right, so you guys have the real smoke.
Burning trees, baby.
You're talking too much, man. I told you I was going to warn you. You're talking too much.
There actually was a time when you guys were in the APC and something caught fire, and actually it was...
The APC caught fire.
Yes, but the fumes were noxious, right? You couldn't breathe.
They sort of mixed with something they
Yes.
aged inside with
Paint, yeah.
paint, and all of a sudden we just...
Turpentine or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Plastic smoke was just in our lungs.
Right.
We just,
And you were choking. One of you was
choking.
it you know that looked at Jeanette and said, "Wow, you know, that's a great acting job."
Great improv, and the very next second it's like, I'm a chicken head. Get me the fuck out of here.
So basically, we're going to let everyone go except for Bill Paxton. We'll continue this with just Bill and I.
Man in a chicken head. That happened. They sent us to lunch. We all had to, you know, have oxygen.
but they used the footage, of course.
Okay.
And we came back after lunch. Everything's all set, guys. It's all perfect. And the exact same thing happened.
Yeah.
See, don't you love that when they say, "Yeah, we fixed it," and they didn't fix it, right? The same thing happened. The roof of the APC actually collapsed. Did anyone get injured in that?
Jim Cameron.
Oh.
Yeah, but he's invincible, so it was no big deal.
It's a gaffer on it.
But you know, the ABC had these kind of handlebars, like a roller coaster ride that came down and fastened you in. And Jim had been sitting in Sigourney, where Sigourney was going to be sitting, and the thing slipped and hit. I remember it hitting Jim in the head. It was like a little oil well just spouting blood. And he had to have about 12 stitches, but it was like he was still directing while they were stitching his head up.
You didn't wrap for the day at that point? You kept going?
No, he grew up playing hockey. It was no big deal.
That's good. Canadians are tough in hockey.
Absolutely.
So Sigourney was supposed to be sitting there, actually.
Yeah, it was just before a shot they were setting it up, and I think Jim was trying to kind of picture Sigourney's POV of all of us. So he was kind of doing that. The thing came down and just you know, rung his bell.
Yeah.
But also to give credit to a member of our cast who's not here was Al Matthews, who played Sergeant Apone. Sergeant Apone. Let's see what Sergeant Apone is not here. Al had actually been in the service, and what I recall is once it fell, Al went into military mode, and he was like, "Everybody out!" But he was barking orders for real, and yeah, moment of panic. But yeah, credit to Al.
Al was the one guy that didn't have to act on stage. He just became himself, and that was it. You know?
So did that help you guys as actors to actually have him in there in terms of his military experience? Did that make you guys feel a little bit more, hey, yeah, we're doing it? Yeah.
I felt that it plugged us in because Al was the real deal. You know, he wasn't just acting. And some of the things that would come out of his mouth, you knew that was real shit. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it plugged us all in, and it gave us all the kind of the urgency that is required at certain times. I mean, he told me a story about him after he got out of the war, and he was walking to church with his wife and a child, and a car backfired, and within a second, he had both of them head first into the ground and him laying on top of him. I mean, he was the real deal.
And I'll tell you, that man could chomp on a cigar better than no one else. I swear to God, that guy was just like, what was that?
And as we're giving shout outs, I want to give a shout out to one of our, you know, the Marines say they never leave one of their own behind. And Trevor Stedman had a stroke, and it was pretty bad. But the guy's recovering like crazy. At first he couldn't move half of his body. Now the other hand, the good hand, he's trying to grab nurses' asses. So it's all working out now, and I just want to give a big shout out.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'd like everybody to say get well to Trevor on 3, 1.
2, 3.
He's gonna hear that. He's gonna be, ah! You were about to say something.
I think I was just going to say that Hicks never paid any attention to him.
Hicks never did what? Sorry?
Paid any attention to him.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. I guess what I wanted to say was in terms of the camaraderie that you guys developed, did you feel like a unit other than you coming in very late? But did you bond after you came back to the States after filming? Did you guys ever let's meet up for barbecue or I mean I don't know. How was that bonding process?
Well, I'll speak to that only because Bill Paxton was extremely generous. He would call, I lived in England at the time, and Bill would call me every so often and just go, Mark, you gotta come over. This is gonna be huge, dude. It's gonna be huge. And I was like, really, Bill? He's like, trust me, it's gonna be huge. And so not only did I take his advice and it sort of paved my way in Hollywood, but I got to stay in Bill's apartment. So thank you, Bill. Bill never called me. Bill did call me. Bill called me up saying, are you holding? What would he say?
Well, we had a lot of parties while we were making the film.
Yeah.
I remember Mark was a very generous host and had us over a lot, and we pretty much every weekend did something together.
Yeah.
Something we can't talk about now.
One weekend I remember, Michael said he was going to take us all skydiving.
Oh.
And it was going to be on him. And I'm thinking, great. He goes home, he tells his son that he's going to go skydiving. His son goes, no, Daddy, you're going to die. Next day comes out, the skydiving thing, it's off.
No more skydiving. Gotcha. Michael, it's interesting because in Aliens, you definitely were considered a hero, a good guy. We really, we love your character. And then we watched you in The Abyss, and we hated you. It was like...
What? You hated me?
No. I'm just saying, the audience, you played a really good bad guy, is what I'm saying. That's all.
It's disturbed.
Okay. Sorry.
He was a Navy SEAL who was used to taking commands, who was cut off
Right.
from his
That's right.
command.
Correct.
And was being told that there were aliens in the water, and the proof that they had was a picture of a squiggly little nothingness. That was it.
Gotcha.
And I was suffering from underwater
Dementia?
stress disorder,
Okay.
whatever they call it.
Gotcha.
So, he wasn't a bad guy.
Okay.
He was struggling to make it work. Didn't work out in the end. Come back, guys, come back.
Watch the fucking movie again, will you? Lord.
What I was trying to say was I was trying to pay you a compliment in that as an actor, you were able to move us either way. Disturbed dude or hero who's still alive at the end of Aliens. So that's all.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I will choose my words wisely from now on.
Yeah. I want to say something about Michael coming into the cast late.
Okay.
The first guy, do you guys know who the first guy was that had Hicks role?
James Remar.
Right, James Remar.
Right.
James Remar had this kind of gruff voice, and he kind of, he was wiry, and he kind of like went at you. And then when Michael came, it was very, very different. And when I first saw Michael doing the thing, because I was working, Michael Hicks and my character worked together. When Mike first came, I was like, nah, I'm not feeling this. But what I learned from watching him work was Mike was smooth. But Michael was smooth with it. He pulls the audience into him. And I think that's why, you didn't see it at first, but when you put it all together, then you get it.
Less is more. Less is more.
I think the best thing about that character was we were able to make him a reluctant hero. And
Yes.
that really is...
That's a good way to put it. Reluctant hero.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you got lucky because you were knocked out with bandages and you didn't have to face the mother alien at the end, so that was a good thing, too. That helped. That's quite
Yeah,
good.
that's true.
You're all knocked out in the Valium. It was all up to Bishop to deal with it. Okay. All right, so you guys, awesome so far. And at this point, let's throw it to another clip and see our next two actors right now. Clip, please.
Carter Burke. Worked for the company. That's really okay. It never occurred to me. It's just common practice. We always have something. I prefer the term artificial person myself.
Put your hands together. Lance Henriksen and Paul Reiser.
It's about to get real over there.
I didn't know. Yeah, there's water underneath on your chest.
Look at this esteemed group.
This is like the United Nations when they know less.
That is clever.
Where we don't know.
Yes, there's thousands of them.
Every minute we're
See,
learning.
your hockey goes on in here.